What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? 7 o'clock or around that time. So, once again, it's another edition of the Man Cave, 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. Appreciate y'all checking in and rocking with us. Took the week off last week, but we back. Got a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I want to say what's up to number one co-host, All State PG, All State Coach. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
Well, once again, appreciate y'all rocking with us. We are number one source for Polk County High School basketball. And before we get started, I want to say what's up to our sponsor for tonight, Mass by Mitchell. And if you have any mask needs, custom mask, t-shirts, things of that nature, contact Mass by Mitchell. Hopefully, the way things are looking, depending on what news outlet you look at, you may be an uptick in the need for these things as we get ready for school. But in any event, appreciate Mass by Mitchell sponsoring us, and thank you for the support. So as we get ready to jump into things, I want to first of all go to the PG, see if you got anything in the Fatuma's take. I know it's been a while, so you got anything on your dome you want to holler about?
No. Now I'll talk.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll jump in later, but we'll transition right into the coaches. Coaches Tony, got anything night on your dome, Coach? I know you had a busy weekend, so if you don't have anything, that's fine. But I always want to give you a chance to give you a chance if you do. If you don't have anything, that's fine. But I always want to give you.
Tony Bradley had a great weekend. 2024 squad played 16 and under. Lost in the championship today. But it was a good showing overall. 17s did well. I seen T-Mac was playing up in Atlanta. That's a good thing. Getting a lot of coaches out, kids getting interest. But what's on my dome right now is Team USA, bro. That's embarrassing right now.
Well, you're surprised.
What do you think is the issue? They don't lost 3 games in a row.
They don't have a dominating big man, and if you think about it, they don't have defensive players. They have offensive players, and they don't have no dominating big man because the NBA, all the good big men are from other countries. And you think they when got JaVale McGee. That show how trash the big man. Oh shit. They find that guy up.
Now I saw where what's the name had an interesting comment today. I got an interesting take on what's going on with the USA. But Fournier, I know I'm probably saying his name wrong. Fournier, the guy that he used to play with the Magic. I think he got traded somewhere. I don't know where he got traded to, but he says I read what he said. Individually, they tough, they better, but as a team, they very beatable. Is essentially what he was saying. And if you look at it, I think it's a couple things. It's kind of like what we've talked about here a couple times. It's almost like the AAU effect to me. You kind of grab a bunch of players together from all over, put them on a team. You're not really practicing, and then you go out there and play. That's the first thing. So you're not as much of a team as these foreign teams are. And the second thing is, I just think that the rest of the world is catching up to us. Like France, right off the top, France got 3. They had 3 NBA players that not just ninth or 10th guys on the bench NBA players. I mean, Gobert, defense player of the year, 2-3 years in a row. Fernandez, real good pro. Batum. So I mean, these people got pros that are legitimate pros on their team. So I think the talent level is catching up also, but I think it's also the AAU effect where we just pulling people in and putting them on a team, and these people we playing are actually teams that play, and then in addition to playing, the talent is starting to catch up because you playing against NBA level guys on those other teams. So I think it's kind of a combination of all three of those, all those things that's kind of got us in some real trouble.
I heard a comment that Coach Pop can't coach superstars. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, how can you coach? It's hard to coach some guys that's making almost $300 million a year. What can you tell them guys right now as far as going hard?
Well, I kind of agree with that, and I know y'all gonna say I'm being biased, and I'll take it. But and it may be something to it. But Coach K coached them same pro guys, and Coach K never really had an issue with him. I think the fact that Coach K was a college coach, his approach was more receptive to guys in this environment than a Pop. Pop might not be the best head coach because of how he is kind of rigid and old school. So I think it may be something to that. I'm not blaming Pop for the reason that he lost, but Pop is probably not the best coach for the type of for the Olympic type of format because of how he coaches. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Somebody like a Steve Nash, even Monty Williams from Phoenix. Monty Williams probably be a great coach for just because he seems like he's a true players coach. You got to be more of a players coach, I think, in this format. And Pop definitely ain't concerned, but like you say, that with his resume, he don't have to be. But his resume might not translate well to the Olympics right now. So, are we in trouble? It's one game, but are we in real trouble? Do we have a chance to? Do we have a chance to medal?
Why is Kevin?
I don't think so.
Why is Kevin Durant even out there playing, bro? You know he ain't gonna give 100%.
I mean, he had to agree to play, so he had to.
I understand that, but is he playing at 100% to win a gold medal, or he just playing just to stay in shape because of his Achilles? But he ain't gonna go full out, all out. It hurt again.
So you think he hurt him more than to help him?
Yeah, I think because he ain't gonna guard nobody. He ain't gonna play hard. He's not gonna play for the goal.
See, I think that's disrespectful to the game. If you're not going to give that type of effort, then let somebody else do it.
Has he been giving it?
No.
I haven't watched one game yet. I didn't even know the game was on today. I think it was on like real early. So
it was.
I haven't even seen him play yet, so I can't speak on what's going on other than like they were you sitting and said that we trash. I'm like, we lost. I didn't know we played.
Bro, we talking about arguably the best player in the world, minus LeBron James, bro, and he ain't even giving you really the best player in the world type of status right now.
So he's not playing that. So does it fall on him?
No,
I think so. But who else? Nobody's stepping up and taking ownership of that team where they had that before. Even with Carmelo Anthony, he took ownership of those teams, and he made sure that everybody played at a high level. I think Carmelo played some of his best basketball in the Olympics. Even though he did have LeBron and had some other players there, but nobody's taking that type of ownership to hold anybody accountable to play at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be an honor to honor the country in playing the Olympics. And
they picked the wrong team? Did they pick? Do they have the wrong?
A bunch of scores. That's it. They just got a bunch of scores, bro. They ain't got no balance.
But then again, a lot of people turn them down. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron, in which I understand he really hadn't had a break. So, some people are just resting up for next season.
And we were talking about it in the gym, and you didn't realize it when they first picked McGee, and then somebody said something about McGee and the Johnson guy was just gonna be like practice guys, but they like out there playing. They got uniforms on. So I'm like, then when you think about it, all of the good big men are like you said, bro. They foreigners. So we don't have no good big men. Now I know that I read somewhere that Jason Tatum and it was one more player. They said that that they are like continually like staring down the refs for non-calls because they used to getting them calls in the NBA, and the international whistle is a whole different whistle. And so they struggling with the fact that they're not getting the calls that they normally would get. I don't know if there's truth to that, but I read that somewhere as well that was that's something that you sitting there staring the ref down and the ball going back down court, and so it's gonna be some soul searching. But I just look at the NBA like we almost like a AAU team, and I hate that. I'm not discrediting or making nothing negative out of AAU, but I'm saying it from the standpoint of you pull kids from different places, and they just show up. All right, we got a tournament in Atlanta, we got a tournament in Orlando, we got a tournament in Jacksonville. You just show up, you fly in, you bus in, you drive in, you throw them a jersey, and they play. That's kind of
the hired gun.
You know what I'm saying? It's a hired gun. So it's not like, all right, we got practice on Tuesday and Thursday, and then we gonna play on Friday. We show up on Friday. We got practice, but practice is not like mandatory. You got 12 guys on the roster. You may have 8 show up to practice, but 12 are gonna be there for the game. And I think these other people playing, they practicing. They actually lining up and practicing, and we just showing up to play. So that's my take on it. And I gotta say that's not like that's gospel or law, but I just look at us like an AAU setup right now.
Yeah, just look at this. You got Holiday, you got Booker, you got
they just got there.
Middleton. And you got Holiday, Booker, and Middleton just got there. All right. So you got Holiday is one of the best defenders. You ain't had him you ain't had him at all. But I think you got so many of the similar players, bro. Like Dame Lillard and Booker are more guard, like point guard, because Booker can play a point. Excuse me. Middleton, Durant, Booker, Lillard. They got like 4 ball hogs to go along with and Tatum. So you got 5. That's 5 ball hogs, bro. They ain't got no defense. Zach Levine. What the hell he doing on the team? Keldon Johnson. Who was that?
That's one of the replacements they brought in. And I'm like, I know he could have picked somebody besides him. I mean, like you say, I mean, like I watched a little bit kind of in passing when they played who we played with, the team that got the Gasol brothers. Is that Spain? But anyway, you can see how big everybody is over us. Everybody has size.
Yeah.
We don't have size.
6'9".
Almost like we need to go out there like almost in a college setup and just press people because we small and I always wonder why we, like Westbrook. I didn't see where Westbrook declined. He just never got asked. The United States would benefit with having somebody like Westbrook because Westbrook don't have no off gear. He just go all the time. So guys like that who don't matter how much money they make, they're gonna play the same way. I think they would benefit greatly for somebody like him. But from what I've seen, I didn't see where they say he turned him down. So I'm assuming he never even got asked to play.
Who on this team can penetrate and create? They ain't got that. They got that's a bad roster, bro. Dame Lillard is a scoring guard that shoots more jumpers than he try as far as attacking the basket to open up things.
So we about to be in trouble as well. So this is gonna probably be the first time that we we already throwing the medal out the way. Are we also throwing away? I mean, we're throwing away the gold medal. Are we throwing away the gold medal after one game, or are we throwing away just even placing after one game?
I think that place.
Okay. Yeah, well, that was interesting. That's interesting. I just thinking that's kind of going to kind of segue into the next topic. I just want to ask y'all both what y'all thought about this. What do y'all think about? I think they'll get better, kind of like what Coach is saying. I think with them three guys, with Booker, Holiday, and Middleton, I think they'll get better because for one, Middleton gonna be able to. I mean, Middleton and Booker can score, and Holiday can guard people. So I think they'll get. I mean, they just got off the plane and went right out there and had to play. So I think it'll get. I think it'll get better. Or maybe I'm being optimistic. You know, I'm the half trying to be more optimistic and half full type of setup with my thought process. But today was kind of disappointing. I mean, they let Fournier get off for 28, but Fournier is an NBA guy who can score. So it's not like he's just somebody that's off the boat. You know what I'm saying? It's like these legitimate NBA guys that they playing against. So you playing against guys that's more on your level talent wise than you have been. And I think that's not always been the case. Those teams in the past, people was in all of them. They getting autographs and taking pictures before the game. Now you got guys that look, man, I play the same, I line up just like you line up. So I just think it's some kind of it's gonna have to be some strategy in there. We're not gonna just be able to take out the warm up and go out there and line up and run through people like we used to. So it's gonna be interesting how we turn it around. But yeah, the day was definitely a disappointment, I guess. Are we giving our expectations too high based off of the past?
You know, me.
Can't hear you, Coach. Can't hear you.
I say no.
Okay.
But it is telling us that the rest of the world is catching up.
Yeah, they're catching up, Coach. And I mean, we got to get the opponent. At some point, you got to give your opponent some credit, too. I mean, we played today, they got multiple NBA guys. And like I said, not just guys that's on the end of the bench, starters, all-stars, like award-winning guys that's out there playing. So sometimes you kind of got to give your opponent some credit, too. So question to y'all. How important, switching gears, how important do you all think it is for teams to participate in team camps? Like June is usually a team camp month. July is usually like open, live period. Some teams choose to take their teams and participate in team camps. Some teams choose not to do it. How important do you think it's important? What's you all's take on teams participating in team camps? Not their kids playing on AAU teams or playing on the circuit. I'm saying team camps. Like
I feel like Summer League was a team camp. Summer League is a new team camp, and you get more games, I guess. Against, to me.
So you look at Summer League as team camp. So not necessarily like going to like Florida State team camp or like Florida team camp. You saying that's not as big a deal?
Camps, I mean, it's times have switched up because I remember when, back in the day, it used to be a whole week of basketball. Now they're just doing weekend camps, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it don't hurt to go. It's not a bad thing, but June, that especially here, we're doing a whole 4 season. You're playing what 3-4 games in a 3 games a week for the whole month of June. So they're getting the team chemistry. They're getting all that. So it don't hurt if they don't go on the weekend. I mean, they'll get to see outside competition. You get more games. You get more games to compete in. But I mean, Polk County had a good camp to me. That Summer League is a good camp.
So based off of how Summer League was constructed, you didn't really see the need for team camp.
I don't think you were hurt if you didn't attend a team camp. But 3 times out the week. Were you allowed to practice, Billy? Are you allowed to practice during the month of June since you got the summer league? Do you know, Juan?
Say it again now.
Are you allowed to practice on those other days that you're not playing in summer league in the month of June?
Yeah, they can practice.
Nah, you winning then. Summer league is the new team camp.
So just ride. So in your opinion, if you don't go to Florida State, you ain't losing nothing like in the past when you would be.
Yeah, you're not really. I mean, you're not at a loss. It's just more games for you to compete against other people outside of the of your area.
Okay, Coach, you hear us now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, what's your take on that?
Say it again.
What's your take on that? How important, or is it important for teams to participate in team camps, like as a team?
I think it's very important. That's how you develop chemistry. Um, Usually, you can develop what your role is going to be on that team. Um, a lot of coaches like me, myself, and McGriff, we know who those first 5 or 6 guys going to be. We need to know who we're going to trust from like 6, 7, 8, and 9, sometimes 10. We need to give those guys time and confidence and put them in position to see what they can do. So team camp is very important. We tried to um, attend multiple team camps to give them as much experience as we can during that time. So
Was
every
you
kid has the opportunity to prove, what the skill set is and what role they're going to have on that team.
was
Coaches don't define the role; the kid define what role they have on that team.
how y'all did in summer league? Did y'all play summer league?
Yes, we played summer league, played team camps. We actually went to another tournament that we had to win to get into the city of Palms. Any opportunity we had a chance to play, we played. Coach Hannerhan down at Warner, he had his camp down there. He invited us down just to play some of the teams down there. Had a great relationship with them. Some of the old guys will come back in. You're just trying to get as much experience for those kids as possible.
I just look at it now because, like, I know during the summer league, what made me think about it is the I know it was different rules in place
Hmm.
depending on who. Well, I guess it was the same rule, but it was different interpretations on if people were able to leave and go and play, or couldn't go and play, or they couldn't stay. They had to kind of go back and forth. So, I mean, not to get into the specifics of that, but I know, and I had said something to you and bruh, that I think after the first week of summer league, I think Florida State had their camp, and I know it was like three of our teams went up. I know Winter Haven went up there, Jenkins went up, and I think somebody else went up. But I know them two. I know at least them two went up. And I remember saying that following week when Jenkins came and played Monday at the field house, I think they played Santa Fe. Somebody. I think they played somebody, and they beat them. And they played very well. I'm like, they look totally different today than they did last week. But somebody was like, they just came back from the team camp. So they got like 7 or 8 games in up there in Tallahassee, and they look a lot more like cohesive. Like they look like they was kind of going in the same direction. It just seemed to me. So I'm like, it clearly, I thought, benefited them to go to the team camp.
But also think about it like this, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Not only are you building chemistry on the court, you're building chemistry off the court. You know what I'm saying? You get to, go somewhere, you get to stay the night, you get to bond, off the court. And that's just as important also. So,
I think that's the un kind of summer league in Polk County. You show up at the game. I mean, you may ride together, but then you go home. But team camps, you stand over for the most part. You stand overnight, so you, like you say, you building that camaraderie, that the relationships that you can't really get in a team camp. In a summer league. So
Mm-hmm.
I know some people have different philosophies on it. So I just wanted to kind of get you all's take on it because some people feel like they need the team camp because they need to make sure that their guys are not losing the core of what they're teaching and what their philosophy is at their school because they send them out there on the circuit and send them these different teams and they come back doing all this different stuff that's not in their program. So some coaches feel it's important so to make sure that the kids don't lose sight of what we doing over here at, whatever name high school when you go out and do all this stuff with these other people, don't lose sight of what we doing over here. So
It's
there's
also
something
a gauge, coach. It's also a gauge because you get to see other teams from other areas, and you kind of figure out, where do you fit in that? Are you going to be able to compete, at a high level with those other teams? You could possibly see teams that you may see in the playoffs. So it's important that you get away from here and play.
right. And just to segue right into this now, another topic. Okay, so recently, we know that Dylan, 2023, Dylan James is doing very well on the circuit. His stock, as they say, his stock is continually rising. Um, there are some people that say he is already a 5-star. There's some people that say not yet. But the thought is that he's going to end up being a 5-star sooner than later if he's not already one. Okay. So we know 5-stars usually is Power 5 D1 prospects. I know we talked about it off the air. We was asking, first of all, when was the last Power 5-star we had in Polk County before him? And it was Tony Bradley. So my question to you all, just you guys are high basketball guys, knowledge wise, performance wise, been around the game for forever. So when we talk about a Division One FCS, I guess, but we're gonna say Division One just because that's keep it kind of consistent. When you think about a Division One prospect in basketball, now I know what a Division One prospect look like in football. I'm more, in the football mode. But for basketball, what is it when we say a Division One prospect? When we say a Power 5 prospect, what is it that entails? What makes you a Division One prospect? What is it that you have to? What has to go into the mix for you to be considered or end up being a Division One in you all's opinion through your lens, through your looking glass?
A wow factor on the offensive end, most definitely. Someone that can dominate, not just play, but have to have that wow factor. Especially on the offensive end. Like when you walk in the gym, you see them warming up, you already got that. It's a killer instinct, you know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be size because you can get some guys like 6'1" that just got that wow factor to them. You know what I'm saying? Like their skill set is just a little bit different, and the way they approach the game is different. Like it's every day. I'm gonna give you 25 to 30 type of guy. Unless they're the 6'10", 6'11" kids that just got the upside and that size that they're looking for. But as far as to me a Power 5 basketball player is definitely a wow factor. In you can go Power 5 and go to a school that ain't really nothing to be talked about it too, bro.
Right. Well, I mean, Power 5 and D1. I'm just saying like a Division One, so it don't necessarily have to be Power 5 to be Division One. You
just got to bring something to the table like that. That's a wild factor on some end on the court.
Can you be a Power 5? I mean, not a Power 5. Let me take that out. Can you be a D1 prospect and not be a killer on offense, like you said?
Yeah. You can be a point guard who can just control the game and dominate the game without scoring that. When you say Power 5, I was looking at the Kansas, Kentucky's, and all them type of programs. Yeah. But you still can. You can dominate the game just by the way you perform on the offensive end by getting 10, 15 assists dominate the game. How the kid Billy D coach on the defensive end. So you can do it without that. But I mean, you look at a lot of those guys now, especially I was looking at some of that stuff on the EYBL, man. Them guys are snipers, man. Real killers out there, man. Like them guys don't take possessions off. I know it'd be fun for you to watch Billy D when y'all ain't playing.
Of course.
Some of them kids they talk about, man, they got that it factor. Especially them guards. Them guard from the 1, 2, and 3, they got major it factors, man.
And when you start looking at that, the first thing a lot of them college coaches, they're going to look for the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? They're going to look for size first. They're going to look for size first. They're going to look for the prototypic, you know, long wings that can shoot it, that are athletic, and just have skills. But if you're not the prototypical size, you got to be a difference maker, like Corey is saying. Like, what's gonna make me watch you play? And usually those guys, they separate themselves from everybody else on the court. They can get to the basket whenever they want to. They can create their own shot. You know what I'm saying? Knock down from all three levels. Dribble, pull up, knock down the three. And they're consistent, and they do it against. When you get a chance to play against one of those other names, that's how those kids separate themselves. Like, if you go against Mikey Williams and you give Mikey Williams 25, 30, believe me, somebody gonna notice. So when you have those opportunities to go up against those guys, you really got to go at them. Don't get caught up. Oh, that's such and such. He a 4-star, 5-star going to, Duke, Kentucky, or wherever. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it to them, and that's how a lot of kids get scholarships. Is because people come to watch such and such big name, and they see you, going against them. So, but the skill level has to be high, coach, to be a D1 player. If you don't have that high skill, you got to be a difference maker on the court. So let's just think about it. There are some programs. You sometimes you wonder like how that kid got a scholarship. Because let's think about that Virginia team that won the championship 2 years ago. Their guards weren't great, but they played well in the system. They weren't prototypical size or anything. So it's people will take a chance on you, but you got to step up to the plate when those people are watching, though.
Yeah, I was looking at some film on the kid, Wagner kid, who's the number one player in the country in 2024 or 23? 24?
24, I think.
He with the Mickey kid and LeBron kid, right?
Oh, so he's 23.
23.
23. Oh my God, he played point. He didn't lead his team in scoring on the game that I was like watching, but oh man, I started looking for more. Like he was just that good, bro. Like I think he was like 7 for 11, but like he was just that good. It was like, okay, I understand. Like he can control the game just by having the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the scary part about them type of kids. That Mickey kid was probably one of the most popular kids in the world, especially with the Instagram. Man, he the type of kid can come and he 40, 50, 40, 50. Just got that. He got something in him.
Yeah. That kid gonna make over $1 million in endorsements this year.
So and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. So measurables become. So measurables are not as important as
they still are. Measurables still are, because you can't be sick for a post or nothing like that. Stuff like that. Measurables are still. They look for measurables first.
But these kids we talking about though, like these kids we talking about, they live. It's a business for them from 7th grade on up.
Yeah.
Like it ain't. It's basketball, bro. Like these kids, they ain't got no focus on nothing other than year-round basketball, year-round training, high school is the last little piece to what they trying to do. Them guys waking up every morning 4 o'clock in the morning like we do, trying to get shots up, hitting the gym, hitting the weight room, then go to school, then come back and work out again. At that young age, man, it's a difference.
And it's a difference other places. But is it for us being Polk County? Is it because it's such an emphasis on football? Because you'll get guys to get up at 6 in the morning and go do them earlier football workouts. No problem. We know that happens everywhere. I don't know if that happens, and I'm not saying it don't happen. Let me make sure I'm prefacing this, but we don't know that it happens as much. We don't hear about it as much as it happening with basketball. With football, it's almost like you ain't doing morning workouts. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you ain't doing it, you kind of like on the outside. I don't know if we hear that as much with
all those kids around professional athletes though, bro. That's the biggest difference that I don't think no one ever talks about before people started saying, "Oh, we down in Polk County, kid." Man, these guys that we're talking about, they're around professional athletes, so they're getting that conversation. You got like, for example, the Wagner kid. Who was his dad? His dad played in the NBA.
Yeah, DeJuan was special too.
You see what I'm saying? So then you take the Mickey kid. This kid was playing on LeBron team, like, you know what I'm saying? He was on LeBron younger teams with Bronny. They round basketball, they round NBA players, bro. So they Q&A is a little bit different. You Q&A LeBron coming and telling you about, you got to be up 4 or 5 in the morning getting up shots. It's a whole different mindset from one of us saying it. We just say, yeah, I hear you.
But also, where can I go get up shots at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning?
No, I'm saying you can hit the weight room at 4 5. You can train.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But I think that's another big thing. Why we're behind here in Polk County. Also, it's like facilities access, and things of that nature. We got to be able to expand. If we're gonna, we need to invest in those kids, because it may be some kids here that want that type of work ethic. But where can they go?
Yeah,
I guess that's my point. I don't want this to be looked at negative, but I'm like, we can say for sure that we have a legitimate major Division I prospect that's in the county right now. Can we say that without being negative, without saying that we talking about kids and that nature, even though it may swing that way? Can we say that about more than Dylan? So my thing with it is, if we can, that's great. But if we can't, why is it? And what can we do so that we can say we have more than one legitimate Division I prospect in the county?
Why is nobody talking about the year that he left and what that installed in him to prepare him for what he's doing now?
And that's the thing, Coach. Whatever he did when he left, and that's what I said for in 1 year time, whatever he did, because when he left here, he don't look nothing like how he looked now. So whatever he did there on his own, whatever the case may be, shout out to The Rock or whoever had him in the gym, whatever they was doing. Like you said, I don't know if we investigating. I guess that's the point to what you're saying. Clearly, he did something to raise his level. The type of player he is. So what did he do there or this year that is not happening with more of our kids to get them to that level? If that makes sense.
To be honest, man, it's a shout out to his parents, bro. His parents really give him the resources that he needs in order to be great. You know what I'm saying? I know they take that kid to Orlando over to a center where he has a trainer that he's working out with on a consistent basis. One family does a great job with skill development also. So in their particular organization, they continue to work on skills. I know that for a fact, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I wouldn't give credit to The Rock but I'll more so give credit to his parents and his AAU organization right now, where they're giving the kids the tools in order to be great. So,
So
and it's paying off for them.
going to the Rock didn't become a business move. But
Originally, it was. Originally, it was.
saying
You know,
his basketball, his way of approaching the game had to change in that year.
I agree. I
So
agree.
that's
But
what
I
I'm saying.
think more of
When you go to
his.
school, you go to Mount Bird, you go to the Rock, you go to Mount Zion. Basketball changes from those type of schools compared to being at a public school.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy was always great. Tracy didn't go to Mount Zion and then become the number one player. He got the opportunity at the ABCD camp before he went to Mount Zion, right?
Yes.
That summer. Then he went to Mount
Yeah.
Zion. But he
Yeah.
learned the next level as well of what the business side of basketball is, of waking up, working out, going to school, back to working out. You see what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
talent level, he just got that door open. The talent level was like, okay, boom, let's go to this camp. Then he was able to show how good he was at that camp. But so staying at Auburndale, he wouldn't have got the same growth of the business side of basketball on how hard it takes to be an NBA player that he got when he went to Mount Zion, or these kids that are at Mount Verb, at Oak Hill. It's different because you need like them people stick you out in the boondocks, you away from everything. You can't run around and just move around the same way you do in high school and public schools, and they got certain rules, and it's a way they discipline the kid to you working out to be the next great Power 5 kid that we want to see.
Do our kids, to your point about business, do our kids not make this a business early enough?
No, they don't, because we don't have the tool. We don't have the
Resources.
situation. And don't get me wrong. Now I know we got quite a few AAU teams, but we don't have the situation that these other kids have, as far as competing and traveling to play at that level every single week. For example, you got the Lakeland Fire, got the youth from K or third through eighth, but they're not traveling out and competing against CP3, LeBron's teams, Tracy team, Kevin Durant team on a weekly basis when they're playing. You get what I'm saying? They catching them at probably one tournament. These guys are competing with each other and they're around that type of NBA basketball every other weekend. And they schedule to play every other weekend at a high level. They're not gonna go play at a YBOA, or they're gonna go play with all the other NBA players got their squads. In the middle school, at the middle school level, am I right or wrong, Billy D?
You're right. There's a circuit for that. It's a circuit for that.
We don't have that. We don't have that, bro.
Y'all see this question that coach asked? Or point he making?
I don't know if I think the basketball side of it, like, did he learn a different side of basketball being at a prep school?
They become more mature, not necessarily as a player, but it became more of a business, not necessarily as a player, but as a business. Like,
when I'm talking,
I got this mindset to get where I'm trying to go.
I'm talking business mindset. Like, I want to be the next Power 5 kid. I want to prepare to go to the NBA. These are the things you have to do. And you get those, when you get those schools, you see the other kids that are at your level, that some kid may be better than you, and it teaches you how to develop the skill set as well as the training that you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
I just the thing that I always question is, to the point, is do our kids make this a business too late? You know, like, just real quick with my younger son, with CJ. CJ played football way back in 5th grade. You know, we playing football and we working out. So I asked him the question. He was fifth grade, he was 10 years old. what do you want this to look like? What you trying to get out of football? So that's gonna give me the idea of where I need to be, how much work I need to put in this, how much commitment I need to put in this. If you just want to go out there and play, just have a good time, something to do, then okay, and nothing wrong with that. Dad, I want to go play D1. He was 10 years old. Okay, well then we gonna go and bro, we're gonna go and do what it needs to happen for that to happen. We're gonna get you on the road, we're gonna get you to these camps, we're gonna work out. It was a business decision then with some of these, and I've coached basketball. We all been around basketball. I just look at some of these kids. Is it business for them quick enough so that they can develop and reach their full potential? I just think that, this is not negative, but we got plenty of kids that don't, for whatever reason, don't reach their potential of how good they could be because of these same things. The work ethic. They don't have the right mindset. They don't say, look, man, this is just it. This all or nothing. It's gotta happen. I mean, Coach, I'm not saying but you got everybody different. You got to drive your bus where you drive your bus. My conversation to my son was, look, is this something that you think you want to do? If it's something you want to do, then now it becomes on me to put you in a position to do it. Now, could he have changed his mind at 12 or 13 and say, you know what, Dad, I don't want to do it? He could have. The minute he said, I don't want to do it, then we go a different way. But I do think we have to put that on our kids. Just like we can have high expectations in the classroom of our kids and expect them to learn at a high level early. We can put that on our kids. I think we let our kids off the hook because we do not have those type of conversations with them at a young age. How you gonna tell me that, y'all know, we all educators, how high level the learning that we expect these kids on these high stakes testing and stuff, we okay with that in the classroom, but we can't put that on them on the field, on the court. I don't agree with that. If I can have a high expectation of you in the classroom, I can have a high expectation of you on the field and on the court. And to your point, Tuma, go look on YouTube. How many 10-year-old kids putting in work? How many 12-year-old kids? They ain't starting when they get in high school. These kids on the circuit at 11, 12 years old. It's footage. So somebody doing it. Somebody.
This goes to be interesting to answer your question, right? If let's say Tony Bradley, because he's the one on Tony Bradley's in the league and he already had the TV situation. Let's say he said, okay, he got with you guys and said, I want to start from 4th grade and up, right? And then he started having tryouts for 4th grade and up, and he go 4th to 8th for like trying to get an elite team to go play on the circuit. What's the first thing? And not only that, now like he's gonna look for kids, not just in Polk County. He's gonna look for a 5'10" 5th grader, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 7th grader. You see what I'm saying? That he gonna look for that might be in Tampa. What's the first thing that'll happen if someone started a circuit level basketball team in Polk County? What's the first thing you think would happen, Barnes?
I don't know. You give me the answer.
What you think will happen, Billy D?
I think immediately somebody would kind of try to tear it down from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Try not to like legitimize what that situation is trying to do. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to put an elite team together, they may criticize because you do get a kid, from outside or whatever. But you trying to play at an elite level. Sometimes it's not going to be all Polk County kids, and you got to understand that if you're not good enough, I mean, we got to have that conversation too.
What's the second one? My second one is who's been in existence that you started, Barnes, in 20 plus years that most kids right here play for.
Lakeland 5.
So now you get an elite team. You get somebody that want to start an elite team that's the NBA player. You don't think there's gonna be conversation of like, oh, they hating on the 5, why they trying to do this, bro?
that's the thing that hurts us as well. And to Coach point, that coaching, you make a good point, Coach. We can't jump on you when you talking facts. It don't be the kids, it be the grown-ups. That's why it's like what 40, and I may be kind of putting a little on it, but it's like 40, at least 30 little league football teams in Lakeland alone. I ain't talking about Polk County. I'm talking about Lakeland. I didn't even know that many kids playing football in Lakeland. It's like high double digits in Lakeland of football, and because grown-ups can't get on the same page so that the kids can be on the same page and play together. The Lakeland Five got a 2028 team, so that's like 5th grade, 6th grade. If 24 is 9th grade, that's like 5th grade, right? 5th, 6th grade, something like that. I don't know. It's 2028. But we talked about the other day. They played 74 games this year. And they're in the 5th grade. First of all, they had to play somebody. So it's not like it ain't other people that's playing at that level. And we know based off of, once again, social media, that these people are playing at a high level, younger and younger and younger. So I just say we have to decide. I ain't gonna say we have to decide. I just think that we're behind because we decide to make it a business a lot later than other people are making it a business. And it's not that they are better athletes than us. You know, Polk County got some of the best athletes in the nation, not just the state. So it ain't a thing about you being better athletes than us. But do they have more skill? To Coach Point, they putting Dylan in the car. They driving him over to Orlando or wherever they're driving him to. Clearly, his skill level, that's the first thing that jump out to you. When we did our top 10 of 23 last year, Dylan was barely in the top 10. Now he is clearly the top overall.
You know what's funny though?
Nothing against them guys, but Coach, he done leapfrogged them guys. And it's clear that he is skilled now. Coach, that kid got skill. He ain't just no athlete walking in the gym. That kid can shoot it. He can put it on the floor. I mean, Coach, you see him every weekend. So something had to happen.
You know what's interesting? Because we talking about the NBA situation. Man, I remember this was my early years of teaching. Austin Rivers then was in the 3rd grade. But I know you probably remember this when they had they called it American Dream Team or something like that. They called it 3rd grade. This kid was the number 1 3rd grader in the country. And he was playing at Sleepy Hill. Again, that is an NBA player. They had them pulled in guys from all across Central Florida, not just one area. And they played at a high level where they went and competed. He got ranked because he played at that level. He was that good. And it kept carrying on. And the other kids with him started getting ranked. Are we more concerned about winning or development? And can we put both together? Because if you're more concerned about winning, then are you winning at a low level, or are you going to play and compete at a high level, and you're bringing in the best of the best to play along with the ones you got around here? If you got 3 or 4 young Polk County kids that's 5th grade that know how to play the game already, why not tie them in with some Tampa kids, some St. Pete kids, some Orlando, you know what I'm saying? Consider something that's close by and put all that together and rock and roll and have that name like a Tony Bradley. So the circuit it starts carrying on. You see what I'm saying? But we won't do that.
Where we behind is resources, bro. You gotta be able to fund that. And I'm gonna tell you, to fund a elite program, you talking about anywhere between 75 and 100 grand a year, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be elite, just know what the price tag that comes with that. You know, hotels, rental vans, entry fees in tournaments and things of that nature, gear. You know what I'm saying? Their kids, they look at those things. You got some programs giving out 2-3 pairs of shoes.
I think a lot of people start doing fundraisers the month before the season, bro. instead of 11 months before the season. So you can start playing in July. The organization should start in August, fundraising, getting letters out to all these different businesses for that. Do they do that? I don't know if they do or not. I'm just saying, do they do that? Because you can get the money. The money is they're handing out money. It's different ways to get the money. But when are you starting the fundraising opportunities, bro?
I think with you though, I think to your point, Coach, we more concerned about wins because the thing is, the thing that I guess I don't know if folks kind of miss when you pull up and YouTube these kids, these high level kids, the thing that jump out to me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure because y'all are basketball guys too, it's not that they can go jump out the gym. It's the talent. They got skill, Coach. I mean, they can on the ball, they can hit shots. I mean, they can play the game. And like you said, then they can think the game. So they are elite athletes, and they've developed from a mental standpoint and just a basketball standpoint. So, like I said, in Polk County, we got the best athletes around. So you ain't gotta teach me how to be an athlete, but I do need to be taught how to be a basketball player. And I think that's kind of, I don't know if we put enough emphasis on that. Dylan shouldn't have to go to Orlando to get skill development, but I understand him going to get it. You got to go where it's at. But we ought to have those kind of resources. When I think resources, I think we ought to have those type of resources locally for kids that want it, that they can get high-level skill development so that it'll carry over. What we say all the time, the kids from Orlando got more skill. We tougher than them, but they more skilled than us. Why do we have to continue to say that? Why do we have to continue to say they're more skilled than us? At what point do we catch up? What point do we shrink that? You know what I'm saying? Do we ever shrink it? It's not a big deal.
Money. It costs to be developed. It costs. So if you got the talent, it does cost.
Do you don't think people pay for it?
Because most people willing to spend the money.
So you don't think these kids are paid for the development to get to work? Like if we say the Polk Hoops twice a week, we doing Polk Hoop skill development, and we do different locations: Lakeland High School, Lake Wells, the Oakland Rec, Davenport High School. We gonna pull up first 25, show up, pull up, sign up. We doing it twice a week, and we working on stuff like ball handling. We working on shooting, cone drill. You don't think kids would? You don't think kids and parents, because his parents gotta kind of buy into it. You don't think there would be folks that would be interested in that for the sake of their kids getting better skill-wise?
No. But most of the parents already think they know everything about the game. I'll be the one to say it.
So they won't be receptive to it. You agree with that?
I'm on the fence about that one. If it's free, somebody's gonna show up. But my thing is that they think everything is free. And you got to be willing to invest in the product that you want. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a great coach that normally does that thing, then you have to invest in a great trainer. You know what I'm saying? There are some that are around here, but that's the way they make their living too. So how much are you willing to invest in your child to make them great? It's sad that you do have to take your money other places in order to get the skill development that you need. But I mean, there are some right here in the county that I know that are great trainers, up and coming.
Business model. Okay, we go with great trainers. You hear about these people from Orlando. I don't know if they are any better than they got the talent level or the knowledge that our trainers around here don't have. It's the business. Do they understand the business model?
Overall, I wouldn't say no. Well, I know one.
That's part of the problem. And then secondly, do they have the facility? All right. So as a trainer, listen, if you're training my kid and my kid's got the potential to be a Power 5 kid, I don't want to be trained in a facility where we have to worry about time frame. So if I'm paying you $100 an hour or $500 a month, all right, 150 of those dollars on the first of all on the business side should be going to a facility where I can close the gym, I can close the weight room, and we can train one-on-one, and you don't have to worry none of this. All right. So if you don't have the facility, you're not willing to spend to get the facility as a trainer, you already on took 2 steps backwards. I don't give a rat how good you are.
I agree. That's why we behind here in the county.
Yeah. Hey, these trainers, man, if they charge $50, they're not gonna put 25 of them $50 into a facility that's gonna give them ISO to actually train the kid and that parent or whatever. Like, okay, I know he putting in the time. No, they're gonna look for where can I train at for free or for $10? Up the rate. I mean, it's different stuff you got to do, but it's to get that individual time up the rate. It's a lot of gyms around here that people don't even use, but are they willing to spend $35 an hour on that gym and then charge the parent $75 for the time that they're gonna get put in? In Orlando, you're gonna get that. You're gonna spend that. You're gonna have a rental, unless you got your own gym. You're gonna say, okay, yeah, you got to spend $600 a month, but you can train up to 20 kids. All right. So you train 20 kids, you getting $100 a week off each kid. You get your money. You see what I'm saying? You don't pay your rental fee, and you got these amount of hours where you locked and loaded, where you can be in the facility. Nobody else is in there. Now you got a business model. Now all you gotta do is put your brand into place. We ain't doing that around here. We looking for where we can train at, and ain't gonna cost us nothing, but they're gonna be in the way.
I mean, let's look at it. Let's just look at it without putting nobody on the spot, because I don't want, but let's not even talk about school gyms, because we know there's a lot of red tape with getting into a school gym. Let's just look at recs and community centers and things of that nature. Just right off hand, without me saying them by name, I can think of at least 5 in different places in Polk County, not just in one city. So, and they are connected with Polk County basketball people that have a connection with them. And like I said, when I'm talking for the good of. I think it's great that Dylan is a major D1 kid. Shout out to him and his work and his development and his growth and his. I think it's sad, for lack of a better word, that he got to drive to Orlando to get that skill development. But I understand, and shout out to his parents for doing what they need to do for him to get to the level that he at. But I think that we have, and I may just be half full with my positive way of thinking, because I'm working on that. I just think we have more kids that are D1 level talent that may never get to that point because they're not getting developed to the point that it's going to show or it's going to carry out. And I think that a case could be made that you can do the training right here in Polk County. But I know it's a lot of variables. It's grown-ups, it's parents, it's the people that are connected to the facilities, want to, what's it going to be, what's going I'm going to get out of it. I know it's a lot of variables that have nothing to do with the kids. So this is me in a perfect world. This is my utopia that I know probably will never happen. But I don't think it couldn't happen because we just don't have the ability for it to happen. I just wish there was a way. And if it's something that Polk Coots with us three can get people to the table or get the come. I don't have a problem with doing that. Like I said, I just think that we have many more kids that are D1 level talent besides Dylan. And the fact that Dylan has the ability to go get the work is great, but I just think we could be so much more than we are. I just anytime I hear that we tougher but the Orlando kids got more, they more talented, they more skilled. I just cringe. I just hate to hear that. Why is that? Why can't we be tough and skilled? Why we just got to be tough? I understand the whole football aspect, but yeah, they play football in Orlando too. So why they get to be skilled and we just got to be tough? And maybe I'm being, like I say, maybe for me, I'm just out in the ocean with it, and I'll take that. But I think we got at least 4 other kids I can call right now that I won't call, because the minute you call 4 kids and you don't call the other 4, then we hate you. But I think we got at least 4 kids right now that is at a D1 level that, for whatever reason, are not getting the recognition. If that makes sense. And I'm off my soapbox.
Yeah, I'm with you, Coach. I told my kids today that it's going to be a plan in place where we continue to work them out throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? Just to continue their skill development. We made some great strides this spring and this summer. You know what I'm saying? So, working around their school schedule, you know what I'm saying, getting in the gym on some weekends and just working skill development, to help those kids out and continue the development. We see the need also, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do, in the Tony Bradley organization, to help continue to make sure that our kids are getting some skill work in. So I'm with you on that.
Right. Just to your point, Coach, just to kind of segue, and you said it earlier, and I had printed it out for us to talk about it here on the show. On Thursday, there was a headline on ESPN. I'm sure that everybody saw it. It was different places, but I saw it on ESPN. And the headline simply says, Mikey Williams signs with XL Sports for an NIL deal expected to generate millions. And in quotation, it says generate millions for a high school basketball star. Mikey Williams is going to the 11th grade. He is probably 6'1"-ish.
Yeah.
He listed at 6'3", but he's probably 6'1"-ish. But he's an explosive scorer to PG point about being able to put the ball in the basket. He won't be eligible for the NBA draft until 2024. And he's going to already
be a millionaire.
Millions. He's going to be a millionaire right now. What is the appeal to Mikey Williams? Let's just say Dylan, since Dylan is right on the conversation. That's Dylan's 2023. What's the appeal to Mikey Williams? Let's just say Mikey Williams is 6'1"-ish. KJ 6'1"-ish. Rose 6'1"-ish. And and nothing against Mikey Williams. We know Mikey Williams is a talent, but this guy finna make millions. I mean, he got a legit NIL deal in the 11th grade. What is it that why him? And I may be shooting for the moon. Why him and not one of our kids?
Not only has he been good since like 4th and 5th grade, bro. Not only that, right? But our kids don't have videos with LeBron James. Our kids don't have videos spending the night at LeBron James' house. That boosts up the popularity, bro, even more. Like this man got videos. He coached by LeBron, he hanging out with Bronny at the house. He's sitting in LeBron's car, him and Bronny on the video. Bro, his popularity is just different. He in Cali, bro. So we can't. KJ can't. Who car they gonna get in?
No. Listen what I'm saying now. Listen what I'm saying. I'm going somewhere with it. Clearly they can't line up. Like I'm reading today right now, he got over 5 million followers across multiple platforms. So he's a social media guy. But what did you say before you started? He made a business decision, be it him, be it his parents, be it LeBron, whoever. He made a business decision way back in 5th grade that this is what he wanted to do, and started from there. So now you're at a point where he's from San Diego, but this thing is saying he going to Lake Norman Christian in North Carolina. So he gonna be going to play ball at Lake Norman Christian. Have we even heard of Lake Norman Christian before right now? I know I haven't. In Huntersville, North Carolina. I don't even know where that's at. But he in North Carolina playing, and he played for the Vertical Academy, signed with XL Sports Management. and the vice president said he's going to generate millions of dollars for this young man. So it's almost like a situation like old boy a couple years ago, not as early, but Ball with the shoes. He had all them followers, was charging $500 for them shoes that they thought they was terrible looking shoes, but if he got 5 million followers and 1,000 people buy the shoes at $500, he already cashed out. So my point is, from a talent standpoint, size, he's not to that point because his size. He's not a 6'7" point guard. He's not a 6'9" Scotty Barnes type, phenom type of a, but he has already cashed out, bro. If he can be a bust in college, and he's already cashed out. I know. I mean, his social media. But this is the point. To bro point. Are we not saying his social media stuff wasn't strategic? He just woke up and that's what he did, bro. You don't get to that. You don't get to 5 million people on social media without having a plan for that. Be it him, be it his daddy, be it his agent. I don't know if he got an agent. Let me back up before I say that.
Yeah, like you said, it's a business decision.
Somebody made it a business move for him, and he's cashing out on it. He's class of 2023. Our strongest class in Polk County is what? Our 2023 class. So to me, it becomes very relevant to your point, Coach. The kids that we 2023 class. I mean, are we in agreement from a group standpoint? That's our strongest class. He's a 2023 kid. What's the difference? He ain't no giant of a kid. He's a regular sized kid. He's a freak of an athlete that he can play. But what he did different. Okay, he out in California, but let's look at talent wise, skill wise. What did he do different than our kids to the point where we not talking about them from a talent standpoint, not the rest of the stuff, as him? That's all I'm saying. It's a rhetorical question. And that's all I'm saying, Coach. I just think that let's just for a second, for football. And we know Polk County is diehard football. So we understand it's a bear that we're dealing with. But we have the number 1 ranked athlete in the entire country playing football in Polk County. Go to Lake Gibson. We had a number 1 cornerback in the class of 2023 in the whole country now, not just Polk County or Florida, in the United States here in Polk County. That goes to Lake Gibson also. We had a number 1 defensive lineman in the entire country for the class of 2021 that goes to Lakeland High School. So we got 3 kids in the city of Lakeland, in the county of Polk, that's the number 1 on the board for the nation.
That's crazy. For
the nation now. I ain't talking about for the county or the state, for the whole country. So we can do that for football, but we can't do that for basketball. And we got some talent in basketball. It ain't like we ain't, these kids ain't talent. That's what I'm saying. These kids these kids can play. So I just feel, like I said, maybe I'm shooting for the moon, and I'll take that. But I just feel like it has to be a way for us to maximize. It shouldn't just be Dylan's what I'm saying. It shouldn't just be Dylan. It ain't like Dylan is a phenom of a talent, which he is, and we ain't got other kids that have amazing talent, because we do in 2023 and 2024. So where is the connect? Am I making sense? Maybe I'm I take that, but maybe I'm with you.
But also, like I said, resources and investment in our kids. One thing we're gonna have to do is start attending some of the exposure events that they're having when these kids are present. You know what I'm saying? So you match up against these kids, and you give them kids at work, then we'll be talking about you in the same light. You don't think that you cannot go to these type of events and expect somebody to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? Not only the exposure events here in Florida, you probably gonna have to make a decision where you're gonna have to attend some of those events out of Florida. You're gonna have to find out where these kids are going you know what I'm saying, in order to improve your stock.
You gotta go find the work.
You gotta go find it. And it's gonna take money and resources to do so, you know.
Yeah,
and then like once you get that name, you know, some people will work with you. You know what I'm saying? If you just get here, we'll allow you to play.
Is our kids doing that, Billy? Is our kids going to exposure camps nowadays?
I do know some are going, but only ones I hear about them going to are the ones here in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like Hoop Exchange does a great job of having an exposure event, you know, but you know, outside of them, you know, who's gonna give you that credibility, that national credibility? Like I said, sometimes you're gonna have to venture out a little bit in order to get it.
Pretty much bigger than AAU. You gotta just single out and go out there and play it like an exposure camp.
Mm-hmm.
That's still, yeah. So that's part of the existence. Then that's always been important.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we talk about Pumpkinhead all the time. That's how T Mac burst onto the scene. He went to one of those camps.
Shaw went to the Nike camp and
went to the Nike camp.
Boom, number 2 or number 1 shooting small forward in the country.
You know what I'm saying? He came out there.
It's
so what to back to our point. Pumpkinhead, Shaw, they made a business decision that this is. I just think that we got
to. Someone definitely helped. I mean, you know, it's just like now you just got it's bigger than the AAU traveler. You got to do that October, that September October time when they're having them. You got to go bigger than you got to go beyond Source Hoops. What's the prep hoops? You got to go beyond them. You got to sketch out there and go to where these other kids are going.
And it's nothing against, like you say, Source Hoops and prep hoops.
No, what we're saying, what Billy was saying, that's Florida.
Yeah.
But you might need to step outside of Florida. If you already getting ranked in Florida, okay, now it's time to spend $500 to travel to North Carolina or Atlanta or California for one of those exposure camps. So they're like, what, a kid from Florida's coming out with here? So then if you put the work in at those same kids, you from Florida, you don't travel to California or Texas for exposure camp. And now you get your name mentioned in Texas. Now you're getting highly recruited by the high AAU teams as well. Now you're getting invited to another one because you're traveling.
Like, for example, are we going to be mad? And when I say we, I'm saying the general public. Are we going to be mad if, let's just say, when the 2025 list come out and the players' names are out, if Brock D'Alessandro name is on them lists?
Who is that?
Oasis Christian point guard.
Oasis kid.
Done been to John Lucas point guard camp. Done been to your point.
Yeah, all that stuff. He
going. He leaving the state. They getting on. They as a kid, as the people say, they catching flights. They getting flued out or whatever you want to say. He is doing what y'all both are saying.
Prime example. How many of the kids we have has actually been to the CP3 camp? Or other than him?
He been to CP3 and Lucas. So if his name come up, what we gonna say? You know you can say, but we'll have something to say. But they done made it a business decision early. That kid been going to camp since he was in 7th grade. So
it's a method behind that, dog.
It's a business behind it, and so at some point we have to embrace the business side of it because, and my point on it is, everybody else is doing it. And my second point is we can't say it's too young for them to do it when we got them in these classes, giving them this high school level work in elementary. Come on now. We can't have it both ways. We can't give them high school level understanding and standardized tests with stuff that we learned when we was in high school. We learned geometry in high school. They learned this in 3rd grade. So they can do it in the classroom, but they can't do it on the court of the field. I don't subscribe to that. If they can do it in one place, they can do it in the other place as well.
I would want to know like how they get connected through that to get that opportunity, man. That's a big opportunity to go to CP3. That would be good to know. Yeah, that would be good to know. You can tell, like, you know, what they plan, what was their 3 year plan to get to that situation? Because he'll be a freshman next year, right?
Yeah.
He's a freshman, yeah. So I mean, so he done play. He done been in more. He done been in more people's faces than any 2025 kid that's coming in. And shout out to him. Shout out to him. You know that he doing it. He going where to work at.
He can go. He
He
definitely
can go. And when he come here, he looked like he belonged on the floor with them guys. Nothing against the rest of the Oasis Christian kids, but he looked like you could have took him off Oasis Christian and put him as a PG with most of the other teams in there. And he wouldn't have missed a beat. So it's clear that they made it a business move, a decision earlier. Not saying other people haven't, but you know, and like to the point, I read this and y'all probably saw it too. And it's football, but it kind of carries with basketball. Nick Saban is already, I don't know if y'all saw this, Nick Saban is already using the NIL as a recruiting tool. Already. What's y'all thoughts? What's y'all thoughts? Just like the number two corner in the class 2023. I don't know if y'all know kid Tony Mitchell. He a Polk County kid, but he played in Alabama. Mm-hmm. I just saw last week or 2 weeks ago, he just started a t-shirt line. He in high school now. He going 11th grade. He cashing in on it right now. So I'm saying to any kid that can take advantage of it, why not? And the coaches are about to start using it as a recruiting tool. You come here, like his quarterback ain't played it down yet, and he finna make $1 million. Y'all saw that too, Alabama quarterback?
Yeah, bro, you got to be ahead of the curve. I also know that colleges are actually having companies work with their student athletes in order to help them with their branding and help them make money. You know what I'm saying? I know UCF is doing it. They have a company that they work with that are helping these kids with that. So you got to be ahead of the curve. So Nick Saban just adding to his bag. You know, it's not like he didn't need it, but he's ahead of the curve trying to get more kids there.
The guy at the gym, $500 a month, just because you play
down in Miami. Come to our gym, you get $500 a month. Come on, man. I just think so. This stuff is, and I guess the point is, it's becoming more of a business. So we already and I heard you say it, Coach, with y'all doing it with Tony Bradley. So at least the kids that's in your all's program will be able to have some guidance. But what about the kids because y'all only got so many that's in Tony Bradley? What about the other kids? You know, now if they choose not to do it, that's one thing. If it's available and you choose not to take advantage of something, then that's on you. But and maybe, like I say, maybe I'm wishing for too much. Maybe I'm being unrealistic, and I do that sometimes when I start thinking this way. I may be way out of but I was thinking the same way when we started Lakeland 5. We didn't have no idea that Lakeland 5 be around this. We just want to do something to help kids. Hell, Polk Hoops. We just want to do what? Do something to help the kids and help the county. So sometimes you got to start a thought process and just put it out there and kind of see. And I just think that we have so many kids that have the ability that, for whatever reason, some of these kids want it. You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids want it. It's just not there. It's different if, I'm just sitting home on the game and I just don't care. But you got some kids that's hungry for it, that it's just not a resource there. And everybody don't play with Tony Bradley Elite. They don't have the ability. They don't have the fortune to play with Tony Bradley Elite, the privilege. Everybody can't get in the car and ride to Orlando and get their skill development, but they still could have the potential to develop if there was stuff in place to develop. Now, some people may be like, that ain't y'all job. That's the coach's job at the school. And there is some truth to that, but the reality is that's not happening as much as it should be happening. And even with that, even the Orlando kids, they don't just get trained by they school. They go and get extra work. So we're not trying to discredit any high school. We're just saying it has to be. I know.
Coach, let's talk about that, though, Coach. Let's talk about that. Okay, it's supposed to be the coach's job. if his coach want his players to be good, of course he got to invest that time in. But y'all got to think, man. We got to look at something else. That's the coach's job, but yet we giving them a $2,200 stipend for the whole entire year. Come on, man. That's just not fair. As an adult, the time that we invest in those kids and we're not appreciated. And it's not about making money. Being a high school coach, I would love to break even. If I could just break even, or them coaches just if they could break even with the time that they put in. You know what I'm saying? That's discouraging too, especially when you go a county over and they're making at least twice as much more. Or I can go to Georgia and get a $10,000 supplement. You know what I'm saying? To be an assistant coach. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really not fair. Polk gotta
it's embarrassing.
Go back and relook at that.
It's embarrassing. And to that point, I guess that's when I'm with you right there. So you got a coach that's doing all this stuff anyway. Got to deal with parents. Got to deal with kids. Got to deal with teachers during the day. Got to make sure the kids stay out of trouble and stay eligible. And then they make it with $2,200 before taxes, not after taxes, before taxes. And then you want me to do all this extra stuff outside of that. It becomes very discouraging. And like you said, now that's coming out of my pocket already. So you hit that one on the head, coach. So it's very discouraging for the coaches. So the coaches are getting mistreated, but you know who also ends up missing out? The kids.
The kids miss out because the coach ain't finna put that extra time in because you already working me like a slave. You already disrespecting me, which they totally are, and it's been that way for a while. So you're 1,000% right on that, coach. But it becomes very discouraging, and coach will be like, "Man, what's the point?" And I love my kids, I do, but geez, I mean, gas costs, hotels cost, like you say. I mean, sometimes a lot of times you got to feed them too. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't.
They show up, they got no money. What? I'm gonna look you. You ain't gonna eat. If you with me, you gonna eat.
You're gonna eat.
So, yeah, you told you, and so it's an uphill battle, coach. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's an easy fix. I'm not saying it can even happen. I'm just saying that once again. I'm a dreamer. I dream big, and I dream big when it comes to the kids. I just feel like I'm so happy for everything that Dylan is getting, but I just think that we have more that could be at that level that are not getting to that level because once again we're behind. They're behind skill wise, not talent wise, not toughness wise, but skill wise. And in most cases, not any fault of theirs. They want to work. They want to get better. They want to get developed. They just don't have the resources and the ability to get to where they're going to get better at. And so we just kind of plateau, and it's good enough. But is it good enough to be seen, like you said, to have the opportunity to get to the next level? And the reality is sometimes and most times it's not. And it's sad. It's just sad, man. It's sad that we can't do more. And I know it's not easy. And I'm not saying it's a quick fix or an easy fix, but if we didn't have kids that had the ability, you'd be like, okay, but we got some kids that have some ability to get to play at that level. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thing. We got some kids. We got this. This has been a lot. The first time in a while we can say we can put on more than one hand the potential of amount of kids that can play at the next level. That's going to be in high school this upcoming school year. Now, will that happen? Probably not. But do we have enough kids with that potential? Yes, we do. I heard people pay a trainer $5,000 in the summer. They get mad at that coach.
Hey, I got one for you, man.
Say again?
I got one for you. I wanted to give a shout out.
Huh?
I want to give a shout out to them Lake Wells boys and Coach Terry. who's out there cashing out, trying to get that $1 million, man, representing Polk County.
Yeah, with the TBT tournament.
My tumor take on just giving them a shout out. I just happened to check my Instagram. I saw Dominique pushing up, and he got a good message that all team in a team sport type of situation, especially like that. Let me see if I can find what he said.
Okay.
And this with the team he on. He said, "We all pull up as individuals, but imagine the feeling of pulling up with some like-minded, unselfish killers who will put anything on the line for the betterment of the group. We understand that if everyone is moving forward together, then the success will take care of itself. One of us is not as good as all of us."
That's perfect.
That's powerful because they've had this Team Florida team for a couple years. You know, they off and on played, but it's just strong to see them guys finally come together and say, "Man, this ain't about me. This ain't about you. This ain't about you. It's about us." Talent wise, they've always had it. You know what I'm saying? And everybody ain't got that big time name, but they said, "Let's stop that. Let's come together and let's win this $1 million."
And
Man, they put everything away about who the best player is, who gonna get the most shine, and about how Team Florida can come out of this and be the $1 million winner. You know, just praying for safe travel for them guys. And they play this Saturday, I think, in Dayton, and they're able to make it to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and then get in the final, man, and cash out. You know, and it's guys that you know, man. You know, I inboxed all three of them, man. And they responded back quickly with love, man. You know, I put that flyer up. You know, we just all gotta continue to show them guys love, man. And they push, and hopefully after they win the $1 million, man, we can get them on the show.
Yeah, man.
I've already spoke to them. When they have time, they're definitely gonna get them on.
Yeah, man. I watched the game.
Man, win or lose, just the experience of it, man. You know, and more people, you know, right here in Polk County, man. Right here, you know, stay out of Lake Wells.
Lake Wells, and I watched the game, the last one they just played when they were down 15 at the half, and it was just crazy how the commentator said they got 3 guys on the team from Lake Wells, and he mentioned all 3 of them by name. Then he said, you know, it's another guy, you know, that from Lake Wells that you may know. And he mentioned Amari Stoudemire, but he said all 3 of these guys from Lake Wells. And so I was like, first of all, that was amazing on ESPN, you know, shout out Lake Wells. But then like down the stretch, when they the people, they start coming back, fourth quarter, Dominique was having a tough game. And Dominique had been leading them like in scoring the first 2 games. They set Dominique. They brought Brandon in, and Brandon snapped. Brandon went at like 13 in the fourth quarter. And it's just like, and when they kept showing the bench, which is great for high school kids, hopefully they was watching it, Dominique was cheering more than anybody on the bench.
Oh yeah, that's like
on the sideline, like waving the towel, and it was just like great to see how they was like cheering for each other. Then like when dude Warren hit the game winner, Dominique was the first one off the bench out there. I mean, you can see that, but it's just like to your point of when he wrote, bro. It's like when you got folks that's, and back to the beginning of the show, what Coach was talking about with the Olympics, we don't have guys yet that seem like they playing together. They don't say they playing for the USA. It's like they just got there. They're trying to figure it out. Hopefully they will. These other countries are playing for their country. Does that? And I think that's another part that we missing. That we not playing. Don't seem like they playing together for the United States. Does that make sense? Like it's a bigger goal. Like Dominique just says, a bigger goal for them. So it don't matter who getting off right now. I think that's something else that we got to kind of look at. But yeah, shout out to TBT, man. So Saturday they didn't have the time yet where they play yet. They just play Saturday, right? Or they supposed to time what time they play, you know?
I haven't seen the time yet. I just know they play the 31st.
Yeah, so we'll make sure we'll share it on the page of time so we can but yeah, I hope they still playing, bro. They 16. It started with 64. They made the 16. This is the first they done made it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, shout out to them, man, on that. So, but one more thing, man, before we jump off, man, I got one question for y'all. Y'all know that I know this is you all's last off week. School about to start back, 21-22 school year. We about to get kind of back to normal. Hopefully, things get back to normal. We're gonna start off that way. Hopefully, the new COVID behaves and cooperates with us. But as you all reflect, as your summer comes to an end, and you're getting ready for another school year, another year of just doing what you do. What is your why? And as it relates to what is your why as it relates to coaching, as it relates to teaching, mentoring, business, however you want to answer. What is your why? Have you thought to that point? I was thinking about my why kind of this year because I'm kind of programming myself to get back into the normalness of a Sunday, getting ready for the work week and things like that. So what is your why as you get ready for this upcoming year?
I can go first. Bro, I know that my calling is to help help kids, help children. You know what I'm saying? I ran from that calling at first, um, but I'm here to help kids. My why is to help as many kids as I can in order to put them in a better position to be successful. Whether that's, graduating from high school, and then going to college or going to trade school or going to the military. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see kids, you know, accomplish their goals, break generational curses, be the first to go to college or, to do something with themselves. Like, you know, I win because they win. When I see them winning, you know what I'm saying? I win also. And I think that brings me the most fulfillment is just to see kids be successful. And, and, and a lot of times, some of them kids, we don't even give a chance. I don't see teachers write kids off or he's going to be in jail, he's going to do this and he's going to do that. But, it's actually some individuals that invest in those particular kids to help them, break those curses or help them turn around the road that they was going down and really make something of themselves. And then after that, come back and help improve your community. You know what I'm saying? Somebody invested in you. I love to see when people come back and invest, give back to their community. Shout out to Tony Bradley coming out this weekend, coming and watching his team play. That was big and huge for the program. And not only him, anybody that do it. But my why is I'm just here to help kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see all kids be successful.
Okay.
And I don't even have kids. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times, God intended it to be that way for me to pour into other kids. So, it's those are my kids. Maybe other people had the enjoyment of making them, but they my kids. So that's my why.
My why is simple. I made that promise back in 2002 that I was gonna be all in but working with kids. I just needed help with one situation or being a teacher. And just continue to do what I've been doing, you know what I'm saying? And don't give up on them, It's been a challenging year, especially in my organization. But I mean, I chose not to give up on a couple of kids, and hopefully for the better that what I'm saying, I can look back at it and say, not giving up on them will show more growth than not only the organization but me as a person. So just keep continuing what I'm doing, stepping up to the challenge. Big challenge for me. I got too many of them now. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta ask for guidance and help. I gotta text you guys daily about different stuff, because it's easy to deal with 12 to 15. It's a challenge to have to deal with 70 and keep it running the right way. And I I think one of the most important things about anything that we're doing is we move forward. Whether you coaching, helping, have an open ear for help and for advice. You know what I'm saying? We can't think that we know it all because someone had to teach us, and someone got to be able to tell us when we're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And once you start getting those things mapped out in place, then everything else will fall in better for what you're trying to do. You know? That's a good why. You know, for me. Yeah.
My why is to try to start and be positive, to be more glass half full, to have a positive mindset, positive thoughts. Because I think, as you think, so you do, and so you go. And so I've been working very hard on that. And that's why, like tonight, if it sounded like I was dreaming a lot, I just from a standpoint of where we could be, I don't want to limit myself and my ability to do my part to help whoever it is that God has in place for me to help. I don't want to have myself to be like regimented, like I got to be in one place, as mobile as I need to be, in whatever room I need to be, in what position I need to be the best help. I don't coach anymore, but I think Polk Hoops is kind of like a coaching platform. It's a mentoring platform. It's a upliftment platform. It's an advertisement platform. It's a marketing platform. It's a whatever was best for that situation type of, in a perfect world. So, I mean, my day job, I'm an educator. You all know, I run a school, been doing it for years. So, my job with my kids is to get them all graduated, get them all the best chance they have to be successful, be it college, military, workforce, whatever the case may be. Help them to be the best people that they can be. But I got to be the best person I can be and be the example. And to Bruh's point, I don't ever want to be in a room where I know the most, or I can't take direction or advisement or advice from folks in the room. That's why we get along so well. If y'all was on here being yes men, this wouldn't work, and I wouldn't even want it to be that way. I don't want to be in a situation where, like, that's why I enjoy the chat so much. Folks have their opinion on stuff. We talk about it. Everybody got great ideas, but my why is to try to help as many people as possible in whatever that looks like. That's what I'm saying from this standpoint of more kids getting to that high level. I just think we can do it. I don't know if it'll happen, but I just think we can. And I know it's a lot of variables, like Coach you saying, with the pay, resources, parents, grown-ups not really, believing in it. It's a lot of variables that are in the way. But I just think that for me, my why is to try to look at how we can get it done as opposed to looking at why we can't. And that's in every scenario. And that's going to hopefully be my why, just to be more positive with my thoughts and with my actions. And if it's a no, then it's a no, but it ain't going to be a no because we didn't talk about it. We didn't try. We didn't see we can do it. And something we just can't do. But I just think that we had the ability to do that. As we take Polk Hoops to the next level, like you all say, y'all just think about Polk Hoops, 2 years ago? Folks was like, what's that? Now, we've developed into a legitimate brand for this area, like a legitimate information source, like respect. Like people look to us for advice on stuff, for feedback on things, and so things have changed, and we just have to kind of change with them. So for me, my why is to continually try to help and be impacted, but for me personally, to be more positive and to listen more and to look. I'm looking to get better each day, and I don't necessarily care where I get it from. If it's in the gym talking to bro and Black in the morning, if it's you, bro, Coach, when you get on here on the What's Up app, I'm always looking. So I'm asking questions. I'm trying to be intentional, and I'm not trying to be rigid. I'm trying to be in position to be used how how God sees fit to use me. So that's my why. So I know next week y'all go back on the third. For me, our first day is the third, so this is our like prep week. Y'all prep week is next week. So the live period is now officially over with, correct, Coach?
Yes, sir.
So everybody that went out, July was a lot of people got out and played a lot of games. I always thought that they should have spread out that live period too. I think putting everything in July is kind of crazy, but I don't.
There's still going to be tournaments, but I think this is the last weekend that the coaches can go out. I know the big tournament in Vegas is next weekend.
So they don't just go in. We ain't get nobody off. Dylan the only one got offers.
That I know of official offers, but I will say a lot of interest was generated over the last couple of weekends. I'm hearing a lot of things. I talked to a lot of coaches, so I wouldn't be surprised. Right before we start school, you'll hear some offers that will come from some kids.
And that's all I'm saying, Coach. We got Dylan is great. We know Dylan is a big time talent, but Dylan not the only big time talent in the county. And I may be looking at it through rose-colored glasses because I'm wearing rose-colored glasses now. I may be shooting for the moon, but I think we got at least 8 kids.
Dylan top 5, bro.
Dylan is a next level, bro. I'm not discrediting that.
We don't got other five. We ain't got other Power 5s right now.
Listen what I'm saying, though, bro. Listen what I'm saying. Dylan is Power 5. Okay, we in agreement on that. But there is some D1 kids that's still here because they still playing D1 basketball outside the Power 5 school. Dylan is clearly that's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about we got 8 Power 5 kids. I'm not saying that because we don't.
Yeah,
we got 1 Power 5 kid, but we got about 7 D1 kids.
7?
I'm not, and I said we'll talk about out there. I'm not gonna say names because the minute you don't name one kid, then you trash and you hating on the kids. So I'm not gonna go into specific names. We'll talk off the air about the 7. I think.
Billy, you can't think of 7, huh?
I can think of 7 off. Like I said,
I want to hear your 7. Then.
Bro, we got 7. I got offers right now. D1 offers.
I'm telling you, I got 7. Like I say, not Power 5 7 now. Not Power 5, but D1 level. Yes, sir.
I want to hear them 7.
Okay. All right. So, all right, y'all. So we're gonna jump off so we can have this conversation off the air because we don't want to insult any kid by not listening to kid because it's not. If we don't listen to kid, we're not being negative, but we know that's how it gets construed. So we're gonna continue our conversation off the air. Appreciate y'all rocking with us once again tonight, and as y'all kids, make sure that you getting yourself ready for school, man. Hopefully this Delta variant don't make things rough on us. But appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that got a chance to go out and play this weekend. For the kids that got to compete, I'm just happy they got a full travel season this year because they got a chance to get out there in front of coaches. So that was great too. So I was very happy for that. So shout out to all the coaches, Coach Billy D, Coach Eric, that's Coach Miller, those guys over with FTL, Coach Tiffany with TV Hoops 21, the 5 coaches, all the guys that do the Coach London and Coach Colson, all those guys that coach the high school level kids. Shout out to everybody, man, that put into these kids, man. And we know it's not easy. We know it's not easy. And on behalf of Polk Hoops, I know people tell y'all they appreciate y'all, but man, we appreciate y'all giving these kids a chance, man, to get out there and live the dream. No matter how the dream may end up, those guys with one family, I don't know the coach's name, but I know we got kids that play with one family. We got multiple kids that play with that organization. So shout out to one family also for, pouring into our Polk County kids. We do appreciate it. And if y'all don't hear it, we want to make sure that we say it. So I know Level Up got a ISA. And when you start naming organizations, if you miss one, then you hate. So if I missed you, it wasn't on purpose. I'm just trying to give a quick, shout out before we jump off here. But we appreciate y'all, man, working with these kids and giving them a chance to live their dream. So, but that's what we got for this week, man. So we'll be back next week. All hearts and minds are clear. Polk Hoops out. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Y'all have a good week, man. Be safe out there. Be blessed, and we'll be back at you.
Peace.
Peace.